Well, here we go again. I either know exactly what's in this package or I have no idea at all. It's a hand-addressed package. And so that bag contained 3 times 50. They call them tombstones sometime, or they call them tombstones here. Non-shunted fluorescent light T8 lamp holders, 5721. And then from, I'll let you read that. On eBay, of course. Now, why did I buy 150 lamp ends? Well, it turns out my brother manufactures his own light fixtures. And he doesn't pay with a credit card for anything, so I end up buying his lamps, T-terminals, and LED T8 lamps. This big shapeless package was from Alice, a seller on eBay. I'm going to be ashamed to empty this because it never gets back in to its original size. This package was ordered February 28th, delivered 3/20. And the contents cost $130. As I say, from Alice. I just printed out the eBay My Purchaser page for Alice. Start with this one. Now, if you remember, some time ago, I believe the last mail video, I had purchased some shrink tubing from Alice. And when I buy from Alice or another big eBay seller, I like to go to the other items for sale listing for Alice, for example. She normally has 6,000 to 7,000 items for sale. And I peruse maybe the first 10 or 15 pages and consume some beer while I'm at it. And at the end of that time, I've ordered some stuff. That's how I arrived at this order. I needed $2 in heat shrink. I wanted $2 in heat shrink. I really didn't need it. Okay. Looks like panometer, panometer, panometer. And then what the hell are these? Okay, this is a panometer. A little bit warped case. And it's this panometer. 3 of them cost $14, so a little less than $5 a piece. They display volts, amps, and watts And voltage and amps are calibratable from the front panel. And they're DC 100 volt, 10 amp, 1000 watt. Get something straight here. See how it's bulged? Although the enclosure's not bulged, well, a little bit. Yeah, it's bulged a little bit. That's a pain in the ass. Quality control is going to hell in China. Okay, these little modules, there's two of them. Now I received the modules. I was supposed to get some antennas and some coaxial cable, quantity 2. So far we've unpacked the modules themselves, which you can see are smaller than my thumb. So we'll see if we come up with the antennas and wire and more of these shrink-wrapped packages. Try this fellow. Heavier. Sided circuit boards. I'm not going to count them, but it says I ordered 10 pieces of FR4, single-sided, at $1.50 a piece. Now, what the hell am I going to do with these? These make great RF tight cases. I could lay one down, solder one to it, make a box, put dividers in for RF tight cases. They'll accept the label on the front, and this size fits my shear. 10 by 15 centimeters, or about 6 inches by 4 inches. Try this fellow. Here's the spot welder. Let's look at the spot welder first. Spot welder is one of these little used to install nickel strips in order to put NiCads or lithium batteries in battery packs. Now this costs $16, $15.50. It already has the capacitor mod. And look at this copper bar. Combination heat sink and conductor. Nice. That's really a chunk of copper. Must have a buzzer. There's the buzzer. And what's great is it's advertised as 6 to 18 volts. So if you've been following these welders, one of the real problems has been when the supply voltage drops because of a weld taking place, drops the control voltage below allowable value, thus putting the MOSFETs in a unstable position. They're neither fully on or fully off. One of the cures for that is to add a filter capacitor, not to make the weld stronger, but to hold up the control voltage during the voltage sag caused by the welding. I don't have a serial number, identification number, model number on this, but this looks like a nicer build. So I bought 3 of these so far. I'm going to try to do some comparison. We have a box labeled English. Okay, this is the component tester, and this is the case for the component tester. And this is this fellow. It says English, that makes sense. It's an assembled component tester with a do-it-yourself case. This will make an even dozen component testers I have. In any event, this cost $12.91. Here we have a package just busting open. I have no idea what this is, but it cost me $8.50. And you see it's a it's a little bigger than half-inch red LED counter, meter, count, timer, timing, 3-function device. For what it may be worth to you, and you see these is available in 5 volts, 7 to 12 volts, or 12 to 24 volts. In, reset, no connection, ground, and VCC. And there is no wire on the NC terminal. And we'll see if there's any English here at all. Well, that's clear as a bell. A bell buried in mud. Well, I'll Google this number and see what that returns. I see some meters. So these are 2 apiece, 2 0 to 30 volt meters, DC voltmeters, and 2 0 to 5 amp DC meters with hardware. And these cost, they must have cost like $3 a piece, because the total, I bought 2 of each. The ammeters totaled 602, and these totaled 604. And we have 2 antennas. And we have 2 something of them, and we've got a bunch of sockets. These must be 50-pin sockets. I bought 10 of them for $1.05. And these boards are little music boxes, 16 sounds from one circuit board. So I bought 2 of them, and they cost me $5, so $2.50 a piece. It's another Chinese kit. God knows how many of them I need. And then the antennas and interconnecting wiring for these little communication modules. And so is everything from Alice. We've got one of them, them. And this, and this. So that finishes up Alice. I've already opened this package, and it's from Cool Cheap World. I ordered it on the 5th. I received it today on the 22nd. The contents total is $45. And it contains some knobs, some wire management wrap, a total of 3 meters, 1 voltmeter and 2 ammeters, and some 3mm nylon locking nuts. So we'll take them out and look at them. The meter, one of them was a 30-volt meter. There it is. The other 2 are 10 amp full-scale meters. Take a look at one of them. Dimensionally, they're all the same. Package of hardware for the meter. And the meter itself, these meters are a little less than 3 inches. Say 2 3/4. By about 2 5/8. And they are internally shunted. That means that the 10 amps or 30 volts is applied directly from terminal to terminal. Both the ammeter and the voltmeter costs $4.90 each. One voltmeter and 2 amp meters. A sucker for knobs. There's 5 knobs, fairly large, you can tell. Size from my thumb there. And they're about 32 millimeter in diameter. The problem for me may be that the 6 millimeter hole won't fit a 1/4 inch shaft. And 5 knobs cost $7. The M3 nylon lock nuts. If you haven't used these are nice to use. Turn it over here. See if we can get a close up of it. It's filled with nylon. See that little nylon ring around there? Held in with this crimp. It's a standard diameter as a 3 millimeter hexanite. It's a little thicker. But it goes on like 2.5 threads, and then the bolt thread tightens into the nylon. And you can go clear through the nylon, but it's tight. 200 of them cost $7. And the last thing is 70 feet of this spiral wrap cable, or cable wrap. and it costs $7. So $1 for 10 feet. This is 3mm spirally cut tubing. So what we've got is a piece of 3mm tube of some plastic of some sort, hollow, cut with a spiral. See how that is? Its entire length. They've cut a spiral on it. And what it's used for, I'll just pick up some random wires here. These are jumpers, but they'll serve. If I want to run 2 wires in, say, a cabinet, I can just take this and put the wires inside the tube by wrapping the spiral so that it captures the wires. Now we can use any length of this. We could just do a couple of inches, or we could do the whole bundle. And if we want to drop a wire out along the way, say we had 6 or 8 wires, we would just continue our going on our way with the wire dropped off. Now, there would be no reason to wrap a single wire, maybe. But if you had started out with 10 wires and wanted to drop one off here and one off here and so on, you could do that. Now, it's a little hard to work with wires you've already ran, because you've got to get your fingers in there and wrap the spiral around it. But if you have any idea how you're going to route your wires, this is great stuff. Especially if you have a bundle of 15 wires. Now, unfortunately, I bought 3mm tubing. Who did we buy this from? Cool Cheap World. Yes, Cool Cheap World has this spiral cut tubing in I think every 3mm, 5, 7, 8, 10, something like that. Now it gets a little bit more expensive, but gee, $7 for 70 feet lasts me 2 or 3 lifetimes.